This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. 5 years ago, deep in a bear market, a group of traditional finance experts founded BitGet, and they've been building ever since. Now, with 20 million users worldwide, BitGet is committed to helping users trade smarter by providing a secure one-stop crypto investment solution with copy trading, future trading, and spot trading. Your security is their priority, and BitGet has one of the largest protection funds in the industry with US $300 million to cover potential trader losses from unforeseen events that are not due to misconduct from the user or platform. BitGet wants to inspire everyone to embrace Web3, so if you're new to crypto, learn more at the BitGet Academy with free blockchain courses, crypto guides, cryptocurrency trading strategies, and more. Or for the experienced investor, trade smarter with daily access to institutional-grade crypto market intelligence and trends analysis with BitGet Research. I've put links to BitGet Research and the BitGet Academy in the show notes, so get amongst it or simply go to bitget.com. Thank you to BitGet, and now it is on with the show. And my guest today is Fan Long. Fan is the founder and president, I think, of Conflux Network, which is a hybrid proof of work, proof of stake blockchain. And well, I'm sure we'll learn all about this today. Welcome to the show, Fan.
Well, nice to be with the show, and nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you, Fan. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show. It would be great if you could please introduce yourself. I'd like to hear a little bit about your personal and professional background. Where are you from? What have you been doing in the lead up to founding Conflux Network?
All right. My background. Okay, so well, when I was a high school, so I was sort of being a hacker still. So like I learned programming very early. I probably started programming when I was like 6, and when the time that there's no Python, no of this, I was like learning Pascal and BASIC at that day. Yeah, so then during the high school I joined the competitive programming. So being a hacker when I was a high school kid, and then go to Olympia for the programming, Olympia informatics, and got 2 gold medals, and then. Later, I go to university and then MIT for a PhD. So my research at MIT was, unfortunately not about blockchain, because at that time, blockchain is not a field. There's only Bitcoin. And so my research was like system security, the system, programming languages, those things that are, I would say, very related to blockchain. And gets pretty natural that I get attracted to the blockchain. And the thing that lead me to Conflux is very interesting, right? So I got actually kind of finishing my PhD, and then I took a gap year before I start my professional job. I got faculty position at University of Toronto. I know that. I started at 2018. So I'm right now at Toronto. I'm an assistant professor here still. But there was a gap year before I after graduation, and before I take that job. So I went back to China, and with my Tsinghua University friends, a bunch of Tsinghua University alumni, we were chatting. Initially, was just chatting. Back that time was how to solve scalability was a very hot research topic. So a bunch of researchers were sitting and they say, we have a nice idea. Okay, why not we just change the structure of the blockchain? And that leads to the most important research ideas and innovations behind the Conflux. So we published a paper, we put an archive, and that was like a height of the last round of ICO. And then that's how I actually get into starting to form this, starting to grab a team and then form a Conflux team, because I got a VC friend say, why not you just actually got to make it something real rather than sitting as a paper. That's how I start from background with as a computer scientist researcher to funding the Conflux.
Yeah, and so then are you talking about the Tree Graph Research Institute? So, well, tell us how that fits in. The partnerships there, and yeah, I think there was some. Yeah.
Well, that's actually different. Okay, so we start. So starts it's Conflux starts as it's just the goal of Conflux is we have the paper, and that was a prototype, a research prototype. We want to turn that into a real blockchain, a public blockchain that everyone can use. That's our organization. The Tree Graph Research Institute is you can say it's the branch or the research arm that we established in Shanghai, and it's also it's established also has been so we tried to. So when we are doing the Conflux, we know that staying regulatory compliant is very important. Partly because we felt like a lot of funders, but we have several co-funders, and a lot of them are top computer science in China. So we do feel like it's not good idea to stay roguish and then just to hide. And so we want to stay regulatory compliant. So we talk with the government and what's the right way actually to do this under a regular framework in China, and that's what leads to the Tree Graph Research Institute. So it serves two purposes. First, it actually started in 2020. So we 2020 January, I think. It's a kind of research arm for Conflux team, and a lot of Chinese employees and the team members that stay in China actually stay with that research institute, and also it serves as kind of a communication channel. If there's something we want to talk about, what's going on in the blockchain with the regulators, and we also through that we kind of set up a possible regulation framework for the public chain in future in China. So that's actually how Conflux end up also being, I think, the only regular compliant chain in China. So that's it's like a research arm and communication channel for us.
And just on that point, and because in the West, I suppose there's always it's sometimes hard to get a good understanding of the China stance on any particular issue, right? But blockchain is no different. We've had the various crackdowns on crypto or Bitcoin mining, et cetera, from the Chinese government. But I have it in my notes, and you just said it yourself. Conflux is the only regulatory compliant public and permissionless blockchain in China. So, just love to understand how you interpret the kind of, I guess, that the Chinese government's attitude towards blockchain and I guess the crypto economy at the moment. How do you think about it?
I think we should try to understand, what it's same for any government, Chinese government in particular, what's their problem they're facing, and the motive behind their, regulations or stances. So while the current Chinese government regulation stances on blockchain is basically they are very against cryptocurrency and fungible tokens. And especially they don't like the speculation natures of all of this. And this is probably true for almost all the governments actually. And then they also want to, keep nurturing the technology, or at least have, they think the technology could eventually to grow into something that is going to be very helpful for the country or for the humankind. So they want to keep that.
Yeah.
That's the current status. So the motive behind, I think there are two, I think, important observation point or important fact behind that. So first is, well, one thing to understand is that China, different from many other countries, it has, or its financial system has been heavily rely on the current capital control they put in place, right? So especially, I think recently the Chinese economy is not doing that well. Guess that being well because of the property sector or something. And there is even more, I think, capital outflow pressures. So that makes, I think, the Chinese government particularly, I would say, worrisome about or like worry about technologies or things that could make capital outflow easier, or just say so provide additional route. And I mean, cryptocurrency or fungible tokens certainly is something of that, right? So that's actually one, I think, one possible recent motivations behind. Another important point is, I think, well, China is kind of trying to push their own technology sector. So they will try to, with their limits, they will try to still be supportive to technology. And contrary to many other people's belief, like China bans everything. Actually, well, for example, in China, the non-fungible token NFT is not banned at all. And they have been often quite used as a marketing tool. So so I think it's better to understand the motives, and then you will understand the behavior.
Yes.
So, well, one thing said, I think we are only regularly compliant in China, probably because we are the only one that are actually, trying to talk with the government. Well, try to say, okay, this is what we're trying to do and why we believe it's meaningful, etc. Well, a lot of the teams they just run away, right? So they just play roguish is their tactic day one, and then they just keep that.
All right. Well, look, thank you for sharing your perspectives, Fan. Let's bring it back to Conflux Network. Just briefly, do you want to just explain what makes Conflux unique in terms of, I guess it's, the hybrid consensus mechanism and also the tree graph ledger structure. So it's like a unique blockchain solution, right?
Yeah. So I think what makes Conflux unique is, well, technical wise, so it's not just the only it's not just only like fast. It's also, I think, one of the very few blockchains that achieve its high performance without sacrificing much decentralization, in a sense that, well, it's still fully permissionless. We don't have a very small committee that dedicate everything. And the nature of POW and POS actually gives kind of the best of both worlds, in a sense that POW maintains the decentralization of this and protects the whole network against long-range attacks, while POS provides finality and gets additional security to the networks. So that's the technical aspect that an important technical aspect Conflux has. There's another important aspect that Conflux has. It has this different subspace system. Right now, Conflux has two subspace. So one subspace we call it core subspace, which has, I would say, the modified EVM that is trying to make the applications regulatory compliant possible in China. I will get back to that later. So then there's another subspace which is also fully EVM compatible, so people can run MetaMask Connect on top of it. The core subspace, what we are trying to do, because as I said, like China, a lot of times the fungible tokens or cryptocurrencies are kind of banned. So in order to serve as an infrastructure, you want to make sure that the end users don't need to touch to the cryptocurrencies. So basically in the core subspace, we provide the functionality that the smart contract deployer, that means maybe the developers or could pay transaction fee instead of a user under certain parameters. And this particular mechanism enables our adoption, for example, NFT in China, that being issued and the end user don't need to own any cryptocurrencies at all, as long as their transaction fee is being sponsored by the contract developer, and in that case, NFT issuers to some extent. And that has been working very well. Because of this requiring some modification of the EVM format, transaction format, so it does not make it fully compatible with VM. So we have a different subspace for that. And the two subspace work under the one chain. Assets or any data can flow between those with no problem. You don't need a bridge. There's no security issues. And it's on chain, but it has two subspace to separate different functionalities and satisfy different needs.
Yep, got it. Thank you, Fan. Look, I mean, speaking of those different needs, I know when you're developing and deploying a blockchain protocol, sometimes you think about the different use cases and the different customers or the different users around the world, and why they would want to use your protocol as the solution to whatever they need to do. Is this something you think about, and just maybe talk to some of those use cases and potential, I guess, target users and where they would be around the world?
So currently right now, if you think the two subspaces the Conflux has, the core subspaces have been widely used by a lot of, I would say, NFT issuers or all the regular compliant use cases of smart contract in China. For example, we have in China the NFT, because still the government does not like a lot of crazy speculation of NFT, like one NFT sells for 100 or 1,000 ETH. It's not like that. Usually it's about, there are a lot of, can be used like a marketing tool while you buy a bubble tea shop. Maybe a chain of bubble tea shop can want to use this marketing. If you buy bubble tea, there's like 1 in 20 or 1 in 50 chance you will get lucky and get a special NFT gifted to you. It's things like that. But it's issued a lot. And actually, Conflux has been, I think, one of the main infrastructure that supports those use cases. On Conflux, we have more than 9 million NFT issues on core space in China already. And we are, I think today we are actually ranked 1 or ranked 2 on the number of NFTs being issued and hosted. And all the alternative solutions are kind of private chains or consortium chains. And we are the only public chain that's being widely used in that regard. So that's for the core space. And for the EVM space, we are trying to be EVM compatible and try to create a place where I think standard DeFi, lending, exchanges, those kind of activities that could occur, and then smart contract developers that familiar with EVM and Solidity will be able to deploy and migrate their contracts with ease. And we do have also DeFi activities in that EVM space. Moving on, our focus would be on first try to, we always believe that Web3 needs to grow and make it easy to access to ordinary people. So we are trying to push that. One example is we have been collaborating with China Telecom to develop a blockchain SIM card. And the idea is to allow the Web2 users to be able to easily access the Web3 world, the crypto assets or NFT, et cetera, et cetera. And it's going to be released very soon. And we already have a beta card. It's under the beta testing. The physical cards already being out in limited quantity, and it's on the final phase of testing. And another front we are trying to push is because of our unique geo location, and we want to try to use that as our advantages. So we are heavily focusing on any Web3 development in Hong Kong. I think very soon we are already collaborating with another team in Hong Kong. They will be issuing Hong Kong stablecoins very soon after the Spring Festival, I believe. They will, I think the early would be March. You will be able to see Hong Kong stable coin starts to circulating on chain in Conflux and Ethereum. And that's another possible interesting development that will be happening.
Yeah, that is interesting, Fan. And, sometimes it feels like, you've talked a bit about Web3 and NFTs. It feels like perhaps, parts of Asia, particularly some of the, the big Chinese cities are a little bit ahead of the West in embracing and experimenting with Web3, especially, NFTs and some of the NFT use cases you were talking about there, even just as like loyalty cards or rewards for buying bubble tea or anything like that. And I guess that's part of the reason for that is maybe there's just a kind of a more established ecosystem on some of those, huge apps on.
I think people need to take a little bit closer look at those development in China. And people may even argue some of the development are maybe healthier than just a crazy speculation of having 1,000 Ether monkey. And right, I mean, I'm not against that, but just say that, those are, those speculations are, there are a certain limit they can go and bring values, right? So I think in China, it has been used as a marketing tools. It has been used to replace, physical ticket to certain event or physical ticket and they have been used as collectibles or something, and the royalty programs, etc. So I think it's a more diverse set of dynamics that is happening, and I also believe there are also new development in NFT in all the areas outside China as well, which is interesting. Like people are talking about try to turn real estate, move it on chain as an NFT, etc. Then I think that's interesting as well. What I'm saying is, what happens? It's like I do hope this the whole Web3 could move further beyond the speculation that will benefit the whole field.
Yes, very well said, and I very much agree. Look, Fan, as we start to finish off this part of the podcast, what is coming up for Conflux? What's in the product pipeline? I did see I think it was maybe a blog post from January. You guys were talking about the next Conflux node version 2. 3.4 will enhance performance. I think you talked about preparing for the next hard fork, which will include the Bitcoin layer 2 space and compatibility for EIP 1559 transactions. So tell us about that. Anything else? What's coming up? What's next?
Okay, yeah. So those are technical roadmap what we are working on. Yeah, so we're working on the next hard fork upgrade, and those are all the features that I plan to do. You just mentioned the two most important features. One is it's something like EIP EIP 1155, but it's not like exactly the same burning mechanism, because conflux incentive mechanism chain structure is different from Ethereum, so we can't copy paste what they're designed. So we're going to design our own, which try to achieve similar effect, which I think, while it has been proven to be something very useful and very positive for the ecosystem, so we will try to figure out a way to adopt that. That's one important thing. Another very exciting thing is this BTC layer 2 we are developing. We started with this just because we hear there's a lot of need from the community, right? I mean, since all these rise, a lot of people find out that, okay, there are a lot of more things that, new things that from the Bitcoin that come out. And then another fact is the Bitcoin script language is so limited. So in a sense that Bitcoin script language is so limited, so there's much they can do for those new kinds of assets or new things. So they want something that is some chain or some layer 2 that could be more powerful. It's like there's a real need on this. So what we are been thinking is, because we have this subspace structure that we already have, so it will be very easy for us to satisfy this need and create a new subspace. And we can even make this subspace to using Bitcoin as a gas, and also be able to move the Bitcoin in a secure way, roll those Bitcoin in a secure way to the Conflux, and service that Bitcoin out to, so that people can have first a more, they can do more different kinds of programming on those Bitcoin related assets, and then be able to do those things cheaper, because Bitcoin is also very congested and a very expensive chain.
Great. Thanks so much, Fan. For anyone who wants to look more deeply into Conflux Network, look at mining, look at building on the network, what should people do? Where should they go?
I would strongly recommend they can join our Discord group, Telegram group, and start by looking from our website, and there are developer documentations available on our website. And if you have any questions about how to do certain things, join the Telegram group, Discord group, and ask questions. Our community is very friendly and will help out if they can.
Excellent. All right. I think what we'll do now, Fan, is we'll go to a very quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll have some fun. We'll finish off with the very famous Crypto Conversation Hot Take Round. Back in 1 second.
Okay. Yep.
All done.
You mean the toast?
Something tastier. I've just copied an elite trader on BitGet. One click, and it's done.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't have to sit here manually spying on the moves of smart money and crypto and copying them. I just have to click once, sit back, and BitGet does the rest.
You are so lazy.
It's about working smarter, not harder. Copy it until you make it.
Hands off, gains up. Start copy trading on BitGet.
All right, we are back, and I'm with Fan Long. Fan is the founder of Conflux Network, fascinating hybrid blockchain, partly out of China. And Fan, I think you may know, but I like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Yeah.
Question
so
one.
What is the format?
Well,
what's the format usually?
I'm just going to run some questions at you, Fan, and just give me your honest answers. So here's question one for you. Where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
I think I sit on the middle. I'm actually the one that, just want to, develop exciting new techniques and have people use them.
Yep, makes sense. All right. Well, what would you say, Fan, is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
Famous conviction crypto opinion?
Yes.
Give an example.
Oh, sorry. I just mean, what is a crypto opinion that you have, you hold strongly, or you think will be true?
Well, I just believe the whole Web3 will become important infrastructure for future financial systems.
Yeah,
that's what I believe. Strongly.
I like it. Okay, look, Fan, Bill Gates famously said, we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So anything you like, Web3, Conflux, what does it all look like in 10 years' time?
I believe Web3 in 10 years' time, we will actually have much more. I think it will not be limited on just hackers or a few fan bases. It will become mainstream. It's like it will be so natural, like people sending monies over Web3 infrastructures. Well, it could be Ether, could be Conflux, could be any other blockchain, but anyway, people will get used to that. That's what I believe, and I always believe. I mean, the technology is ready. It's just people's mindset needs time to change. For 10 years, I believe we will go there. And for Conflux, I do hope Conflux will be relevant and important part of the Web3 whole infrastructure 10 years from now, and we are working on that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, William Gibson famously said, Fan, that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
Well, Web3, it's so obvious. I mean, people, whoever, try to transfer monies on blockchain probably will never want to go back in the sense that it's so annoying to do the bank transfers compared to you just use the ledger and slap your fingers and to send the transactions over the blockchain.
Absolutely. Very well said. All right, time for the final question, Fan. What is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
My favorite film, scientific one, Inception.
Yeah, it's a great answer. Classic Christopher Nolan film. One of Christopher Nolan's best films, right?
Yeah.
All right, very well. Great pick. And we reached the end of the show. Easy as that, Fan. It has been a pleasure talking to you today and learning about what's happening in China, all things Conflux. Just again, to finish off, tell people where they should go to get involved with Conflux and why they should look at Conflux as an excellent solution to their needs.
Well, if people are interested, please start with our website, confluxnetwork.org. So we have all the development documentations for the recent updates there. And you also will find the entrance point for all the Discord, like Twitter, all those communities. And it gets connected. Well, Conflux is a team that focusing on bringing new technologies onto the table and also operating in a regulatory compliant way. We have a strong presence in Asia. So if you want to know more about, for the people in the West, if you want to know more about, what's the new development in the Asia or in China or in Hong Kong, you will benefit by connecting to our community as well.
Thank you so much, Fan. All the best and bye for now.
Well, bye. Thank you.
All right, there you go. That was Fan Long. Assistant professor at the University of Toronto, co-founder of Conflux, hacker, computer scientist. Very interesting guy. Thank you to Fan and the Conflux team for coming on the show. We've reached the end of another show. Please do make sure you're subscribed to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. That is it for today. Thanks, team. Bye for now.